we are heading out of Cartagena to play the sport of Tejo. It's the national sport of Colombia. It's kind of like a cornhole mixed with gunpowder.
I'd been wanting to at least watch a Tejo game since I first heard of the sport, but due to COVID and the fact Cartagena isn't a big Tejo town, it didn't look like I'd have a chance. Thankfully, an American Tejo fanatic named Chris.
My name's Chris Cajolis. I'm the owner of Tejo in Medellin. We're the first tour of Tejo.
Gave me the contact of a Tejo club in the town of Turbaco, close to Cartagena. I called up the manager, and he told me that if I came by on New Year's Eve, I'd be sure to find some people playing. Hola, amigo. Yeah, sí.
Buenas tardes, ¿cómo estás?
I was forewarned that no one at the club would be able to speak Spanish, and once again, an American expat came through in the clutch. So this guy that I'm with, he knew a friend of mine from China, but he's been living in Colombia like for 10 years. For 10 years. He was the first American journalist to do an interview with the Colombian president. Not a big deal. So how exactly does one play Tejo? Well, let's find out. The aim of the game is to throw a heavy metal disc, called a Tejo, towards a tray of mud or clay that's approximately 60 feet away. It's a very long court. You gotta...
Yeah, exactly.
Jeez. Embedded in the clay is a metal ring. And on the edge of that ring is a triangular packet filled with gunpowder, called a mecha. There's a few different ways to score. If your Tejo is closest to the ring, you get 1 point. That's called a hand. A bullseye, which is worth 6 points, is when your Tejo lands in the center of the ring. Can you ask him, does the gunpowder ever explode?
¿Cómo se llama? ¿El polvo de arma?
¿De qué?
La explosión. Yup.
If your Tejo explodes the packet of gunpowder, pop goes the weasel. It's called a hit. Did you hear that? That means it was a direct hit. Oh, that just popped. And earns you 3 points. Oh shit, I just saw flames over there. And to get 9 points, you gotta throw a strike. Hey, there you go. That's when your Tejo both lands in the center of the ring and explodes the gunpowder packet. Oh, you can smell the gunpowder. Dude, Jorge's a sharpshooter. Oh, boom goes the dynamite. I mean, Americans would love this game. Because Americans love cornhole, they love bocce, and they love guns. And this kind of incorporates guns because you mix in a little gunpowder. This would be a smash hit. Tejo court in Brooklyn? Oh, they would love it in Brooklyn because they could be like, I'm unique. I don't play cornhole. I play Tejo. Tejo has been around for at least 500 years, as the Spanish reportedly observed the indigenous people of central Colombia playing it with golden discs when they arrived in the region.
Lo inventaron unos indios.
He's saying it was the tribal leader of a tribe in Boyacá that invented this sport.
The gunpowder element of the game, however, wasn't added until the 1900s. Professionally, you play up to 21 points, but these guys were amateurs.
The first person to get to 10 points, the loser has to pay for the beers.
This reminds me of the bowling alley atmosphere. Much like bowling, the game is always played whilst consuming copious amounts of beer. In fact, not taking a swig of beer with every toss is frowned upon. Instead of having a bar, they just have a giant cooler filled with beers, and they use the honor system. So you go into the cooler, you take a beer, and then they just tally it up and you pay at the end. Tejo and drinking beers, they go hand in hand. I didn't just come here to learn about the sport though. I needed to get in on the action.
Like golf. Like play golf.
Oh, yes. I'm great at golf, yeah. Being told to apply my non-existent golf skills was cause for concern. And sure enough, it got ugly. Very ugly.
Out.
It went out. I hit it out the park. Home run. I mean, come on. I'm used to tossing beanbags 20 feet, not chucking a solid metal disc 20 yards. Plus, it's tough to focus when shit is literally exploding in your backswing. My teacher was patient with me though, and my stroke slowly improved. Regrettably though, I never did manage to blow anything up. Turns out I am not a Tejo player at all. I could be though. I only got to play for 10 minutes. I think this game would be very popular in the States because it's addictive. I want to stay and practice for the next couple hours, but we have to go. Muchas gracias. Yeah, give me this. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. To Tejo, the next big sport in the U.S. Hasta luego.
Tony, bueno, un placer.
Yeah. Woo. We hopped in a tuk-tuk and made our way to my translator's sister-in-law's, who had invited us over for New Year's dinner. Feliz cumpleaños? No, you say Happy New Year. I don't know. Hola. Yeah. He's your boyfriend? Oh, okay. All right, we are in the middle of a random village, and this kid is bringing me to the store so I can buy some beers. Gracias. 6 cervezas? Wow. Talk about hospitality. Carrying my beers from the store to the house. Muchas gracias. Invitamo me, yo. Sorry. Thank you for having me. Then hurried back so we could be in Cartagena before the clock struck 12. All right. 2 minutes till 2021. I tried to wear jeans out tonight, and I think I had a heat stroke. It was bad. I was just melting. I couldn't catch my breath, so I went back. I changed into shorts. I drank some water. Now I'm ready to bring in the new year. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome to 2021. It's only going to be marginally better than 2020. But I think the 20s as a whole are going to be great. I think around the time of 2022, shit's really going to start popping off. The roaring 20s, you know the deal. I mean, we're not off to a good start. This is one of the worst fireworks display I've seen in my life. Maybe they're just toning it down for COVID, or maybe they're going to spice it up. We will see. Oh, I'm seeing some colors. I'm seeing some colors. The New Year's Eve celebrations weren't anything special, but overall, I had had an awesome time in Cartagena. Do it. Happy fucking New Year.
Happy fucking year.
Oh, wow. I taught you some Spanish. I'm so proud. It was great to meet you guys. Thanks for keeping me company. But there's much more to Colombia than just the Caribbean coast. So the next day, I headed to the airport to catch a flight to Medellin. Made it through security. Now we're just crushing a couple termies. I like to stick with the aguilas. The aguila monsters. These things go down smooth. Oh, they sprayed hand sanitizer like all over the top of the beer for some reason after I bought them. So that first sip just tasted like hand sanitizer.
Hey, I'm back.
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Hey, fine, and you?
Fucking A. We met at the Casa en el Agua from the coast of Montreal.
Yes, man. I go to Medellin tonight.
Same here. Over here, I think you can just buy shots. Uno. Those shots were great. 12,000 pesos. I still can't really do the conversion, but that would be, I don't know, it's probably like $4. I actually can't do the conversion still, which is sad. But what would you call those? Because those aren't termies. Those are more like, oh, those are trips, terminal nips. One more termy before we board. I'm gonna be cutting it close. Termy impossible. To the last termy in Cartagena. I got a camera in one hand, a burger in the other hand. pounding beers. I look like quite the American specimen. Quite the gringordo. Fat gringo. I gotta start doing the Ben Minch, just putting my mask over the glasses. That seems to work for him, because this shit keeps on dropping below the nose. It's no good. Gotta do this like temperature scan. Alright, I think that's good. After driving through a tunnel for what seemed like an hour, I was greeted by the shimmering lights of Medellin, sprawled out on the valley below. It was magical. Alright, this is the Airbnb in Medellin. So pretty soon now we're gonna go out and explore the city, try to find some breakfast. Okay, we're walking to Cartagena, which is like the most touristy part of Medellin, but then from there we're gonna go to Provenza, which is a little more local and chill. Let's see what we find. Medellin has much stricter COVID regulations than Cartagena, and my first day in the city was their last day of a 5-day lockdown. Thus, walking around felt like I was in the movie 28 Days Later. So this is normally one of the busiest areas of Medellin, and now we're like the only ones on the street, which makes me think maybe we're not supposed to be out. I don't know, but it is quiet. At first glance though, I was already a huge fan of the city. We got a donkeys! The weather was perfect compared to the sweltering heat of Cartagena. There was lush vegetation everywhere. This is right in downtown Medellin. And we got like a bamboo grove and a nice babbling brook. I feel like I'm in Japan right now or something. And public pump stations. Here is a public gym. All of the weights are chained up so you can't steal them. I mean, China has these gyms, but all the exercise equipment's like fake. This does wonders for your cardiovascular and your pulmonary system. This is real exercise equipment with real weights. Who needs an Equinox membership when you got this? The city also had a public transit system that made New York's look like a third world country. And street art that was captivating, to say the least. Oh wow. This guy's cock is pretty much face level with me. It's a plaza filled with sculptures made by the artist Fernando Botero. This guy was making sculptures of thick people way before thick was in. You know, way before Ashley Graham was on the cover of magazines. This guy was just pumping out these sculptures, which are beautiful. It's Big Cat. If I was this impressed by the city while it was still in lockdown, I knew the next 5 days were going to be something special.